Hello students and welcome to the e-learning program initiated by Shri Gyanmanjari Vidyapeeth for the students of Standard 9, in which we are learning the subject of English. Students, from the previous two lectures we have started with a new chapter in moments, that is chapter number 10. This is the third lecture for chapter number 10. Let us have a quick review of what we have learned in chapter number 10. Uh, The Beggar. Name of the chapter is The Beggar. It's written by the famous Russian playwright and storyteller, short story writer. He's quite famous for that. Anton Chekhov. Now, in the beginning of the chapter, we see that a person is begging for money in front of a person and asks the person to take a look at him. He is in quite tattered, battered, and ragged clothes, and his eyes are quite swollen as if he's drunk, and he says he has not eaten for 3 days. Earlier, he was a village school teacher, and he has been kicked out from the job because of intrigues. And the person to whom he was begging, has quite a brief look at the person from top to bottom, and he realizes that he has seen this person somewhere else before also. Then it clicks to him that just day before yesterday the same person had been begging in front of him in some another street, but at that time he was not a village school teacher. He had posed as a student and said that he had been thrown out of the college. So he realizes that this person is speaking a lie. He is looking quite young, quite healthy, and uh, he is still begging for money. He is neither a student nor a school teacher. The other person realizes that that other person is Sergey. He is an advocate, and he tells that to the beggar that you are not what you are saying. The day before yesterday also you were begging in front of me, but at that time you were not a school teacher. You were a student who had been kicked out of the college for not paying fees, and you wanted money to pay the fees, and you were begging for another excuse. Today you are a village school teacher, and again you are begging for money. Yes, you are speaking a lie. Now that beggar is now caught because he has been begging in front of the same person twice, but with different lies. So he knows that he is caught in his own words, and then he realizes the truth, and he starts pleading that I am neither a school teacher and I am neither a student nor a student, but I was a singer in a choir, and those people, they kicked me out because of my drunkenness. I have a habit of drinking alcohol, and that is why they don't want to keep me. Yes, so he accepts the truth, and Sergey, he realizes that this person may be in need of money. Just out of charity, he says, rather than begging, why don't you do some work and earn money? So that person again gives an excuse that nobody will give work to me, and how will people trust me because of my state. So cut in short, Sergey asks the person, will you do work? You come with me. Will you chop wood for me? Yes, I'm giving you work. Now I just want to see whether you actually want to do work, or you just want to keep on begging and earn money. So the person agrees and goes with him to Sergey's house, and Sergey calls out the cook Olga and asks this man to be taken to the woodshed where he'll chop wood. So uh, Olga takes that man to the woodshed and gives her the axe and asks him to chop wood. After 1 hour, she comes and tells her owner, that is the master, that the wood is chopped. And Sergey asks Olga to give him half a ruble, and also tell him that every month, the first day of every month, he can come and chop wood for him and get money, and wherever possible he can come, and work will always be there. Because it's quite a big household, some or other work will be available, but that is available if he wants to work, continue work, so he can come anytime and work will be available. So this is where we had reached. Now, let us go ahead with the story. Work was found for him. Now he would shovel snow, now put the woodshed in order, now beat the dust out of the rugs and mattresses. Now he came on and off whenever he was free or whenever he wanted money. Rather than begging, he would come to the house of Sergei and some or another work would be available to him. He would work, get some money, and go happily. Right? So, what are the different work? What is the different type of work that is available for him? Now he would shovel snow because we know that these are quite cold parts of the world and lots of snow falls. So there is always a need of a person uh, who is ready to shovel snow. For example, the snow is on the path, you need to come from the main gate to the main door. That whole of the path is covered with snow, right? So you got to clear the snow with a shawl. Then perhaps motorable road is there, you need to clear that also, right? Then there might be lots of snow accumulated on the sheds, which might make the shed weak and fall down, collapse. So you need to climb on the shed and shovel the snow over there. Rooftop also, yes, your rooftops also cannot bear much snow on them. So you need to shovel snow in lots of places. And the wood shed has to be kept in order because wood cutting is usually done, chopping is usually done. Lots of small pieces of wood might be lying here and there, right? And you, whatever the chopped wood is, that you need to put it in order. You got to stack them properly so that they are not lying hither thither. And rugs, now beat the dust out of rugs. Rugs are carpets, huge carpets, big carpets right there in the household. And because continuously people have to walk not with bare feet, yes, they have to wear, because of the cold, they have to wear shoes inside the house also, and the carpet will become quite dusty. Now how to remove dust from the carpets? Yes, you hang the carpet on a wire, yes, and beat it with a stick from behind so that the dust keeps on falling outside, and that is how a carpet becomes dust free. So that's quite a lot of hard work, right? And mattress is also, lots of dust gathers over there, you got to beat the dust out of it. Every time he received from every time he received from 20 to 40 kopecks, depending upon the type of work. If it is quite a lot of hard work job, then he would get 40 kopecks. If it is just putting the carpet over there, keep on dusting it, it's not that much hard work, he might get getting 20. But depending upon the work, he would get some money every time he comes to Sergei's place. So every time he received from, sometimes 20 kopecks, sometimes 30 kopecks, sometimes 40 kopecks. But to say he worked hard and earned money rather than just extending his arm and begging for money. And once, even a pair of old trousers was sent to him for a charity purpose. Right now, it's quite cold, right? And he might not be having another pair of trousers also. So, uh, one old pair of trousers was sent to him from by Sergei so that he can wear it and he can protect himself from the cold, because usually he is working outside in the cold, he needs more protection. When Sergei moved into another house, he hired him to help in the packing and hurling the furniture. Now, work is always available in a big household. Now, Sergei decided to buy another house, or he bought another house somewhere else, and he wants shifting from this place to that place. So that involves a lots of packing work to be done, lots of picking up the furniture, putting it into the trucks. So you need an extra helping hand over there. So when Sergey decided to move from this place to another house, he automatically called, because he had a ready person over there to work for him. So that beggar was called, and he helped him in packing all the household stuff and in hauling. That means picking it up and putting into the trucks, or from one room to another room. You need to keep on shifting the furniture, etc., and bring it to the main door where it can be put in a truck and taken away. Right. So that way he used to work over there daily till the shifting work was over, and every day he used to earn money. This time the wife was sober, gloomy, and silent. Now, this time the wife, the person who doesn't have a house of his own, yes, he is a wanderer and is a homeless person. He was quite sober. Sober means his manners were quite like silent, like, right? And he was gloomy. Gloomy means sad, and he kept silent. He just stuck to his work, right? And he didn't say utter a word. He hardly touched the furniture and walked behind the wagons, hanging his head, not even making a pretense of appearing busy. He was given the work, but then he wouldn't even touch the furniture, he wouldn't even pick them up and put it in the truck, and he just kept on roaming around the wagon, that's a truck, hanging his head, not even making a pretense of appearing busy. Now he should be busy doing the work, but he just used to keep on roaming here and there without doing any work, and at the time when should be pretending to do work, he wouldn't do any work. He only shivered in the cold and became embarrassed when the carters jeered at him for his idleness. He only shivered in the cold, right? No, he was feeling cold. He was in the outside of the house, and he was quite shivering, shaking with the cold. And he became embarrassed. Embarrassed, he became a little bit shameful, full of shame when the jeers. Now, when the catters carters are people who shift the luggage from one place to another. They are called carters. So they were shifting the luggage from one house to another. Yes, they were working, and he was supposed to help them also. But they jeered. Jeered means they made fun of him, and that is why this beggar became quite ashamed at him for his idleness. They know the beggar. He was supposed to do work, but he's not doing his work. He's just idling. He's a lazy person. He doesn't want to do work. Even the carters, they were also experiencing those things, and they jeered. They made fun of him for his idleness. He is just loitering around here and there, but he's not doing any work, right? So they made fun of his idleness, his feebleness. He was quite weak, right? So he's shaking in the cold, whereas in that same cold the other people are also standing over there, but they are not shaking, they are not shivering, right? Because they're quite strong. But if you are shivering in the in the cold, that means you are quite weak. So they used to make fun of his idleness, that he doesn't want to do any work, he's just passing time over here, and he's quite weak also. Yes, he is shivering in the cold. Suppose he picks up a piece of furniture, he would drop it and break it, pata nahi kya karega. And his tattered fancy overcoat, and they also used to laugh at his dressing also, because it was quite tattered, that means torn, perhaps stitched at many places. And that long fancy overcoat that he was wearing, after the moving was over, Sergei sent for him. So after the moving work was done, Sergei again sent for the beggar. Well, I'm happy that my words have taken effect. Now, Sergei, at all the time, he doesn't keep on a watch over the beggar, because he has lots of other work, official work to be done. Olga is also there, the cook is also there. He just gives the work. He just asks Olga, or he asks someone to go and bring the beggar and give him some work. Right? So that's it. But he doesn't take care whether that person is actually doing work or not. Yes, he is over there, and after the work is over, he is paid, but he doesn't know whether he gets paid for the work that he is doing or not doing, right? So he is just satisfied that he has given some work to the beggar, and he gives money for the work that he is doing. He doesn't take care to find out actually whether the work was done or it was not done. So he thinks quite proud of himself that he has been able to turn a person, or to make some changes in the person, right, from quite a beggar. Now he works by doing hard work, and he doesn't beg anymore. So he thinks quite high of himself, that it is because of me that there is a sea change in this person. Yes, and he says that I am very happy that my words, they were quite, it looked quite rude at that moment, quite harsh for you. Yes, he in the earlier part of the chapter, he says, You stop this nonsense. Yes, you don't fit in a beggar's uniform, right? You don't fit in beggar's clothes like this. You are quite a young and healthy looking person. You should work hard and earn money, rather than just extending your hands and asking for money. And he brought him to his house and gave him a small work and gave him half a ruble, right? So in this way, my words have made certain changes in you. Now you have stopped begging, you realize that mistake that you have been making up till now, and there has really been some reformation inside you, and you are a changed person now. So Sergey thinks quite high of himself that because of him a person got reformed or changed. He stopped drinking or he stopped begging, and now he's doing hard work and earning money. So well, I am happy that my words have taken effect, he said. Handing him a ruble, full ruble was given to him. Usually he used to get a half a ruble or 30 or 40 kopecks. Here, because of his hard work that he has seen in shifting the house, he says that, okay, I'll give you a ruble. Here's for your pains, the troubles that you have taken. Yes, I see you are sober and have no objection to work. Now you have become quite reformed. Now your manners have changed. You have become more sober. Sober means now you are not in a drunken state, right? Yeah, you look quite fresh, and now you have very well done your work. Here is the money for your the trouble that you have taken for helping me out, or just acting as a helping hand for the uh, things to be put on the truck, and what for all the troubles that you have taken. Here is 1 ruble, and I see that you are now quite a good person. You are sober and you don't have objection to work. That means now you don't want to beg, because now you know that you can get work and work very easily, and if you work you will certainly get money, so you don't have to depend on begging for livelihood. What is your name? So at this juncture, after all these days, he asks for the name of the beggar, and the beggar says his name is Lushkov. Well, Lushkov, I can now offer you some other cleaner employment. Can you write? So answer is I can. Now Sergey, he is an advocate, of course, and he has lots of things to write down, to copy, because in those days perhaps typewriters were also not there. Maybe most of the work was done by handwriting. Yes, for example, judgment ki copy, you need to copy it down with hand, right? So in that way, lots of writing work is done, and this person is quite educated. And an educated person should be given work according to his caliber, according to his qualification, rather than giving a menial job or a hard work labor type of job, manual job to him. It is better to give him some white collar job. So, up till now, to bring him out of his mentality of begging, the hard work, labor work, menial work was given to him. But Sergey is a very kind and a simple person, right? And he thinks that up till now it is okay that he wanted to bring that person out of the misery, so he offered hard work just to check whether the person is really up to the hard work, wants to do some work and earn money. So he's quite satisfied by the progress that is shown by the beggar, that is Lushkov. And now it seems that he has realized that by working hard he can earn money, right? Then why to do begging, right? So he has also left his drinking habits, and now he has become quite sober. Yes, so now let me stop the menial job or the low type of manual work job that he was doing. Let me uh, give some uh, promotion to this person from a labor job to some job which a respectful educated person should get. Yes, so he asks whether he can do some writing job. Right now I can offer you some other job, cleaner employment. Cleaner employment means which doesn't dirty your clothings with dirt, sweat, etc. Right, you get some cleaner employment, and that makes use of the qualification and the education that you have. Can you write? Right, if you can write, I have got lots of work for you. You can sit on a desk, and that is a much cleaner and a white collar job. So he says I can. Okay, then take this letter to a friend of mine tomorrow, and you will be given some copying work to do. Now, for example, if you know how to read and write, then here is an envelope, here is a letter that you have to personally go and give. Now, you will have to read the address, you will have to reach over there and find that person, find that office, right? If you're a learned person, educated person, you can certainly do that. So, today you do this, and tomorrow come to me. I have got lots of copying work to do. So, you can sit at the desk and do the copying work and earn money, more money, and it is a much cleaner job than manual work hard. So he gives him some more advices. Sergey gives Lushkov some advices. What is that? Work hard. Yes, now you're improving, and I'm also giving you some promotion from manual job to some desk job, and you work hard. The way you have shown the hard work in manual labor, you have stopped drinking. You are quite sober. You look like a gentleman now, right? So you work hard, and my advice is don't drink, and remember what I have said to you, and remember these words what I have said to you, right? That you don't fit in the category of a beggar. You are an educated person, right? And now you should work hard and don't drink, and remember what are things that I have told you. Okay, goodbye. So he bids goodbye to Lushkov and goes away. Pleased at having put a man on the right path, Sergei tapped Lushkov kindly on the shoulder and even gave him his hand at parting. So, here we see Sergei is taking an unnecessary pride in himself that he is the reason to transform a person, right? Pleased at having put a man on the right path. Yes, that is a very good thing to do. So, what Sergei has done is not completely wrong. What he has done is absolutely right. He has tried to correct a person. He has tried to correct or make correct the person, make a change in him, and at the same time correct his path, right? So he has brought this person out of misery. He was begging from there. Now he is a respected, say, manual labor. He can do lots of menial jobs, uh, manual work he can do, right? Hard work. He is a hard worker, right? So these qualities in him were there all before also, but the person did not know of his abilities. Now he has realized his abilities, and that is why Sergey takes a pride in himself that he has shown the correct path, and a person got reformed or changed because of his words. His words had a lot of effect, and that is where Sergey takes pride in himself that he is pleased to have put a person on the right path, and now he considers a dignified personality of the person, because now the person has changed himself, right? He has so much impressed Sergey that from a manual job, Sergey is now offering him a desk job. So he's pleased with the change that he sees in the man, and Sergey even tapped Lushakov, that is the beggar. Now he is a white collar job person, right? So he taps the shoulder, appreciating him kindly on his shoulder, and while parting, he even extends his hand for a handshake. And Lushkov, he takes the letter, and from that day forth came no more to the yard for work. Now, that yard work, woodshed, chopping wood, shoveling snow, beating the dust out of the rugs and carpets, and uh, all those things, mattresses, etc., all that menial type of low type of manual work, he did not do. He never came to the yard to do all that work, because now he is a respected respectful person, he is an educated person, qualified person, and he has got a job equivalent to that. What is that? The desk job. Yes, now he copies letters. Now he makes copies of letters, copies of judgment, and might be Sergey is dictating and he is writing. So now he is work caliber has improved. 2 years went by. Then now there is a span of 2 years. Certainly there is a span of 2 years. Right now 2 years has passed, and we understand that the person must have realized that he is quite an educated person, and he can put his education to use and might have used it properly. And now 2 years later, we see a different scene. We will be able to see a different scenario over here. 2 years went by. Then one evening, as Sergey was standing at the ticket window of a theater paying for his ticket, for his seat, he noticed a little man beside him with a coat collar of curly fur and a worn silk skin cap. Now, 2 years went by. Then one evening, this evening usually is filled with entertainment, right? Especially the weekends, etc. Yes, people go to the theaters. Yes, enjoy music, drama, whatever. So, as Sergey was standing at the ticket window of a theater, yes, he wanted to go and enjoy a show over there. Might be it's a concert, maybe it's a drama, melodrama, or something like that. So he goes to the window to buy ticket for his seat. He noticed a little man beside him. Now, there, when he's buying the ticket, he saw a little man. Yes, that might be younger than his height over there. Beside him, he was wearing a coat collar of curly fur. Now, fur is quite expensive, it's costly, and usually it's around the neck. Yes, inside maybe something else, but around the neck it should be fur, original fur, so that it keeps the neck and keeps the chest warm, right? It doesn't allow that cold wind to blow and harm, right? It doesn't make the chest cold, yes, because that's where the lungs are, right? So he noticed the little man beside him. He was wearing a coat collar of curly fur and a worn sealskin cap. Seal is an aquatic animal, and because it stays in those arctic areas, right? So the seal skin cap is it protects you from the severe cold outside weather. In Russia, we know it's quite cold. So he was wearing this, and these things are quite expensive. The little individual timidly asked the ticket seller for a seat in the gallery and paid for it in copper coins. Now, see the uh, now usually gallery is there, and that's on the side, and what we say balcony, etc. It's not that lower seats which are there right in front of it. The stage is gallery. The seats are quite costly, expensive. So the little individual, he timidly, very shyly, he is asking for the ticket. The ticket seller, he is asking for a seat in the gallery. That means he has quite a lot of money and he can afford to buy gallery seats rather than the plain seats which are available in the circle, that is just before the stage, and paid for it in copper coins, right? That means he had enough money to buy himself a good luxurious seat in the gallery. Lushkov, is that you? Cried Sergei. Sergei, now he was looking at that man and again trying to remember where he had seen the man, and it clicks to him that it is that same Lushkov, the beggar, whom he had transformed into another person, right? Into a hard-working person, right? Made some transformation in him. Then he realized it. The name also he recalls, that is, it is Lushkov. Is that you? He remembers now the face. Yes, it is that beggar whom I had made a reform. Is that you? Cried Sergei, recognizing in the little man his former wood chopper. How are you? So now he realizes whole of the past comes as if in 1 second it comes as a flashback to him. Yes, the beggar and begging in the streets in front of him. Yes, he gets in an argument and forces the person beggar to come to his house, work for him to chop wood. He is his former wood chopper. So now he's a transformed man. You can see he's wearing expensive clothing. He's wearing expensive woolen clothing also, and he is buying tickets for gallery. Yes, there is such a lot of change in him. So he is asking, he's happy at the progress made by that person. How are you? He says. What are you doing? How is everything with you? He's so excited. He just bundles out lots of questions because it is his excitement. It is because of him that the changes then a change in this man has happened. So he's so much excited. Oh, how are you? How are the things? And what all things are you doing now? How is everything with you? What are you doing right now? All right. So now Lusherkov says, all right, I am a notary and I'm paid 35 rubles a month. That's quite a huge sum in those days, right? So now he has become a notary. Who is a notary? One who certifies authenticate documents that are to be presented in the court. He authenticates them. Yes, so because copies are to be made. आजकल के जैसे Xerox machines नहीं थी, right? So you cannot photocopy it. You got to make a copy by hand, and it is the notary who certifies that the original and the duplicate, yeah, they are having the same content. So that is done by a notified or uh, a notary who is appointed by the government or the authority. So now I am a notary because he learned that copying work from Sergey, and now he used that same profession to become a notary. So, all right, I am a notary now, and I am paid 35 rubles a month. 35 rubles, it's quite a huge sum of money. Thanks heaven, that's fine. So Sergey is also delighted because if it is his doing, it is because of his thinking, it is because of his words that made some change in this person, and from a beggar he has risen to becoming a notary. So he is overwhelmed by by the present situation. He is so much happy that at least a beggar has learned to make honest living, and he is working hard. Now that hard work has paid, and he has a respectable position of a notary, and he is doing quite a respectful job, and he is having a white collar job. But then it was all because of him. So he says not only thanks to himself, but he is very well uh, 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 pleased to note that the person has now settled down and is earning quite a lot of money, right? So he's happy with that. All right. So thanks, heaven. That's fine. I'm delighted for your sake. I'm very glad to see that you are now quite in a good position, and you are now quite earning quite well, and you are a wealthy person now, and the change that has happened in you, I'm very pleased from the bottom of my heart. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy to see this transformation in you, and really, it's very good to see you. Uh, you see, you are my godson, in a sense. I gave you a push along the right path, you know. Yes, Godfather, godson, right? So, it's a Western tradition, right? Having a godfather or having a godson, right? So, you are a godson. That means you give a little bit help to some near and dear ones of yours, some known person. Yes, you become his protector, his or her protector. Then you are the godfather, and whom you are giving protection to is your godson or god daughter, right? So in that sense, you come under someone's protection. You learn lots of things. Yes, when nobody is helping you, that godfather is going to help you. So he is saying over here, see how the author is trying to write it in a very beautiful way. You see, you are my godson. He doesn't say I am your godfather. He says, you are my godson. It means the same, but then he is just trying to wave it in some other the way. Yes, I treated you like my godson. Yes, I picked up you from streets. That is literally the words that we can use over here. I picked you up from streets. You were in a totally dirty condition. Yes, you were in a totally bad and a quite poor condition. From there, I picked you up, brought you to my house, gave you some work, gave you some money so that you can come out of your misery. I gave you complete protection, and whenever you came to my house, I gave you some work so that you can earn money, and earn money in a respectful way rather than begging in the streets. So I treated you like my godson. I became a godfather, right? That's how it goes. I give you push that you needed. Sometimes things don't work according to what you have planned, right? But you need an opening. You need a little support somewhere which will give that necessary push in order to become successful. So it was me who gave you a push along the right path, and you know. Yes, rest is history, and you are aware yourself about your history. I gave you that opening. I showed you the right path to do hard work. Then I also promoted you from a menial or a labor job to a white collar job of copying down whatever copying work has to be done. Yes, I showed you how to do work, and just see where you are now, right? From a nothing, from a beggar, you are now a notary. Do you remember what a roasting I gave you? Yeah, I still remember, right? Now, that day I got furious when you told me that you were a village school teacher and you were thrown out of the job. The way I scolded you, because I realized just today previous you begged in front of me saying that you were a student and thrown out of the college. Yes, I caught you over there and I really gave you some really mean words, and that is the transformation. Words, they make a lot of effect. So I think those words have made a proper effect on you, and you realized that you were in a very bad state because of your habits of lying, habits of drinking, and habits of idleness, laziness. You were into all those bad habits, and I am the person who brought you out from there. So, do you remember what a roasting? Roasting, that scolding which I did. Yes, I nearly had you sinking in the ground at the feet that day. I made you. I made you realize your mistakes, and I made you ashamed of your words, ashamed of your action, that you thought that if the ground parted, yes, under your feet, you would have sunk over there in the ground. Yes, you would have buried yourself in the ground rather than facing that shameful situation or the scenario that was in front of you. You were caught red-handed lying and cheating. I was about to hand you over to the police, right? Do you remember how shameful you were? Yes, you were begging in front of me not to give you to the police, and then you became ready to do whatever work I gave you, right? So you remember that all that thing put together has made this transformation. Thank you, old man, for not forgetting my words. Yes, and now you realize that those words, they were the golden words uttered to you that put you in shame, and that brought out the realization inside you that people do not like lies. People do not like to give money to beggars and drunkards just because they are lazy and they have very bad habit of just begging and earning money. I brought out that realization inside you that you are a young person, healthy person, you're an educated person, and you should work hard rather than just do begging. So don't forget my words, and you have never forgotten your words, and that is why from a beggar you have risen to a notary. So Lushkov says, thank you too. If I hadn't come to you, then I might still have been calling myself a teacher or a student to this day. So Lushkov also, yes, once you realize your mistake and when you overcome your mistakes, when you rectify your mistakes, there is no shame in accepting that you made a mistake, right? There is no shame in accepting that yes, you were wrong and somebody else was right, right? It happens when you realize what you have done is wrong and you accept the fact, you make those, rectify those errors that you have made, the mistakes that you have made, you rectify them, and then there is no shame in accepting that yes, I was wrong and you are right, right? So Lushkov also here, just like any other good man, he says yes, you are absolutely true. If I hadn't come to you, then if I hadn't met you, if I hadn't come with you to your house and chopped wood for you for the first time, if I had not done that, otherwise, simple, he was caught, he would have just run away. Was the other person going to run behind a beggar? Right? No, he was not. But Lushkov had stood over there, accepted his mistake, and followed Sergei to his house, chopped wood for him for the first time, then again and again came back for work. And yes, if I hadn't come to you, then I might still have been calling myself a teacher and a student. To this date, I would still be begging, I would still be cheating, I would be doing fraud, and I would still uh, uh, present myself as a school teacher or a student, and I would still be cheating people and asking money from them. Yes, by flying to your protection, I dragged myself out of it. He accepts the fact that, yes, I have dragged out myself from my position as a beggar and an insulting profession like a beggar. I have pulled myself out of that. It is just because of you. I flew to your profession. Whenever I needed money, I came to you. I did not beg, but I came to you, asked for work, got work, worked hard, earned money, and went away. I flew to you. I came to you for protection. And I dragged myself out of my situation. I am very, very glad indeed. Thank you for your kind words indeed. I am really thankful. All of a sudden we have met, and today I very well accept that because of your words, because of your deeds, I am a changed person. So I thank you very much for your kind words and deeds. I am very grateful to you and to your cook, because the cook was the first person that he had met who had asked him to do work, right? So I'm very grateful, thankful to you, and not only to you, to your cook also. God bless that good and noble woman. Now, it is all Sergei's effort. The cook, Olga, had nothing to do with it, but Lushkov gives a lots of blessing to that woman wherever she is now. I don't know where she is, right? But God bless her soul. She was a very, very kind and a very gentle woman, right? She was a noble woman of good thoughts, high spirits. You spoke finely then. At that time you spoke very in a very quite good way, finely then, and I shall be indebted to you to my dying day. I will always remain in your debt. You did something good for me which I never imagined. Yes, that much I give to you, that whatever you have done is for my good word, for my good. You scolded me. Yes, you rattled me like anything. Yes, you spoke in a very harsh and rude language to me. But it made me realize that I am a very fit young man and I should be working hard rather than begging on the streets. Because of your words, the change came inside me, right? So I am quite happy, and I will always be in debt to you till the day I die. I will always remember the debt I have. Yes, and because I will always be indebted to you. But strictly speaking, that is accepted. You brought the change in me. I will always remain in your debt. Yes, I can never repay that debt. Some debts they can never be repaid, right? So that is true. Till the day I die, I will always remember you. I will always remember the debt that I have to repay, right? But strictly speaking, it was your cook, Olga, who saved me. It was your words that made transformation in me. But who saved me from my misery? It is not you. It is that dear old lady, Olga, your cook. So, truly speaking, strictly means truly speaking, it was your cook, Olga, who saved me. Why is that so? Now, Sergei is quite surprised. I did everything, and he is giving the credit to Olga, that cook, right? So he's surprised, he's taken back. How is that when I used to come to your house? And now Sergei explains, how is that? So wants the answer, why my cook is taking the credit. Why he is saying that real change is not brought by you, the real change is brought by the cook. Why he will always remain in debt, my debt, because it is because of my saying that he came to my house. But after coming to my house, rest of the things were done by Olga, which Sergey is completely unaware of. So how is that? He says, okay, so now Lishkov brings out the secret. When I used to come to your house to chop wood, she used to begin. Now, whenever I came to your house to chop wood, you thought I chopped the wood. Okay, but what happened in the woodshed, you did not know. What actually happened in the woodshed? When I came to chop wood for you and I went to the woodshed, she used to come with me. And then she used to say to me all these things. What is there? Oh, you rotten person. What is hot? Completely rotten person. Oh, you miserable creature. You're filled with misery. Yes, you are a miserable creature. Just look at you. There's nothing for you but ruin. Yes, you are a totally ruined person. You are totally miserable person. You're totally a rotten person. Just look at you. Those words made the effect, right? And then she would sit down opposite me and grow sad, look into my face and weep. The real condition of the person was not seen by Sergei, but it was seen by Olga. She was a cook. right? But then she saw the real misery in that person, right? That this person is good for nothing. It is because of his habits. He cannot do away with his habits. He doesn't want to do hard work. He just wants to ask for money, just buy some drinks, and just keep on roaming here and there. He doesn't have a house of his own, right? He doesn't want to do any hard work, earn a living by doing hard work. So his life is a total waste. Yes, he is having a rotten mentality. Yes, he is dressed like a beggar. He doesn't even want to decently get dressed. So he is a rotten person. He is a miserable person, and there is nothing but only destruction and ruin in him. And then she would come, sit in front of Lushkov, and cry for him, right? Cry because of his sorry state. The tears of Olga helped him recover. Oh, you unlucky man, there is no pleasure for you in this world, and there will be none in the world to come. Yes, you don't enjoy any pleasures of this world. The world is full of pleasures, and you are not enjoying it. You are a completely unlucky man, unhappy man, and there is no pleasure in this world for you. And even in the days to come, the world will remain as it is, but you won't be enjoying the pleasures of the world. You are a drunkard, you're good for nothing, and after you die, you're going to hell and you're going to burn in hell. Oh, unhappy one. And she would carry on in that strain. These were the words that brought a change in me, right? These were the lucky words, that fortunate words. They are coming from the bottom of the heart of Olga. She feels pity for him, and that pity comes out in the form of these realistic words telling him what he is. What is he? He is a rotten person. He is a drunkard. He is good for nothing. He is a worthless person. He is a completely idle person, lazy person. Yes, he is not interested in doing any work. Yes, and that is why for survival he has to do something, and that is begging. Begging is the most easiest of the tasks in the world. You just have to extend your hand in front of someone. Yes, then that is what exactly is you. You are a completely miserable person. He makes him, the cook, Olga, makes Lushkov realize what truly he is. Right? I can't tell you how much misery she suffered, how many tears she shed for my sake. Yes, she used to sit in front of me and cry for me. Nobody cried for me till now. Yes, you were filled in anger, and in that anger, you said so many words. You brought me to your house and you threw me in front of Olga. But Olga was the one who sat with me and shared my grief, shared my situation. Yes, tried to make me come out or make me realize my situation. And she used to cry at the situation I was in. She used to cry at my personality, right? So that is how the tears never stopped. When she looked at me, automatically tears used to roll out of her eyes, and she she just cannot express the misery of the person she was looking at. So she used to chop wood for me, right? I was so pathetic a person, right? In such a sorry state that she did not even let me chop wood for you. You thought I chopped wood for you. No, she was such an in a miserable state looking at me that this person is good for nothing. He is not going to chop wood for himself, and he is not going to earn money for. Yes, the owner of the house is going to kick him out of the house and never let him in the house if he finds out that Lushkov never chopped wood. So, in order that Lushkov earns some money, she used to do the chopping and go inside and tell the owner, that is Sergey, that Lushkov, the beggar, has chopped wood, so you give the money to him. She did the hard work for that miserable person. And who should get the money? Olga should get the money. But she did the hard work, went inside, brought that half ruble from Sergey and handed it over to the beggar. She used to chop the wood for me. Do you know, sir, that I did not chop a single stick of wood for you? She did it all. All the time I came over there to chop wood for you or to shovel snow, whatever. I never chopped a single stick of wood for you. It was all her doing. Whenever I came, she came out and did the work, got the money from you to pay me, and she paid me. She did the work for me. I was still a lazy, idle person, a drunkard who was least interested in doing any hard work. She did it all. While why this saved me, that is what changed me. That another person is doing work for me and paying me when I don't do the work. She feels so miserable looking at me, at my situation, at my uh, she looks at me and she feels miserable, and that is why I changed. Why I stopped drinking at the sight of her, I cannot explain. So when that chopping of wood happened for lots of time, I was feeling very ashamed that she worked, got money from you and gave that money to me. You thought I was chopping wood for you. I went outside and from that money I used to buy drinks and bring when it was not my hard work from which I got that money from. Yes, so those things changed me. That somebody was working hard for me and giving me money to buy drinks and food, whereas I should be. So I am in such a miserable state that others are feeling so pity and miserable at my state that they are working for me and giving me money to eat and drink. Yes, it's a what bad condition a person can be, then this one. So why this saved me, why I changed, why I stopped drinking at the side. She was looking so unhappy because of me. She was feeling so miserable because of me. That brought the change. Yes, then I did not have the heart to take the money and buy drinks from it. So I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking not because of you, but because of Olga. I only know that owing to her words and noble deeds, a change took place in my heart. She set me right, and I shall never forget. Now the truth comes out. You just brought me to your house. Your words did not have any effect in me. You brought me to your house. Did I chop wood for you? No, that was chopped by Olga. Did I do any hard work? No, I did not do any hard work. Who did the hard work? Olga did. And who brought that change in me? Not you. Olga's words, Olga's tears, Olga's miserable state looking at me. Yes, that changed me, and that I shall never forget. Now, however, it is time to go. There goes the bell. Lush got bow and departed from the gallery. With this, we come to the end of the chapter today. But the thing that we learned is the lawyer, the advocate, Sergei, he thought that after seeing Luskov after a long time, he felt pride in himself that because of his words, because of his deeds, he was able to set a person on the right path. And today he was very glad to see that same drunkard beggar in quite a respectable position as the notary. A notary has quite a respectable position in the society, right? So that sea change was brought in that person because of him. But when the truth comes out from Lishkov, who was once a beggar, now he realizes that it was not his words that brought the change, it was the words of the cook, Olga, the work done by Olga that brought a transformation in Lushkov. And Lushkov stopped drinking, made himself responsible, right? That is how he became more sober. We had a word called sober, right? Now, sober happens when you leave drinking, right? So, what happens is that change was brought by Olga. It was not because of Sergey. So, Sergey is still standing over there Lushkov begged his pardon and proceeded to the hall to enjoy the show. But we find Sergei still standing over there, not able to believe that it was not him who brought a change in this person, it was his cook who brought a change in this person, right? Thank you, students.